the television series was better overall. After watching the series with my daughter for the last 5 years, I was a little disappointed by the movie. There's a reason the series was better, though. Over the course of 5 seasons, the television series covered only one school year, roughly from September to July of the same year. With all of that, the series had plenty of time to explore the implications of every character's powers and personality. Beyond that, the movie decided to be a musical. This made it very difficult to tell what was real and what was fantasy within the scope of the movie. Musical sequences had a dreamy, fantastic feel to them, and the rest of the movie felt more grounded. Yet there were things that happened in the musical sequences that seemed to carry over. If I had not already been familiar with the concepts from the series, I would have been completely lost. With that much said, there are a few things the movie did better than the series. The series is a 14-year-old superhero fever dream. Paris is a city with a population over 2 million. Yet somehow, 95% of all the akumatized supervillains are within 2 degrees of separation from one specific junior high class. Nadia Chamak is a perfectly capable investigative reporter. There's no good reason for her not to notice this. It might have been a stretch for her to identify Ladybug and Cat Noir, but to recognize that there's something special about this class should not have escaped her. The movie handles things differently. While it's difficult to get exactly how Hawkmoth recruits his rogues in the movie because it's part of a musical number, one thing that's made clear is that they are dangerous, violent criminals unknown to our title characters until they are granted magical abilities and sent on a rampage. This has the downside that none of the villains from the series, except for Hawkmoth himself, could be used, but many of the designs suggest similar qualities to the villains we know and love. Another thing the movie does better is that Ladybug/Marinette is never made guardian of the Miraculous. They remain carefully under the care of Master Fu, which, let's face it, giving the care of world-altering magical gems to a 14-year-old is a really bad idea. The final fight and resolution was also much better in the movie. There are points of the ending of Season 5 that I think could have been incorporated into the movie's climax, but in the series Gabriel Agresti sacrifices himself to join his wife in the afterlife in order to provide a better world for his son to grow up in, all without ever finding out that his enemy Cat Noir and his son Adrien are the same person. In the movie, it is the discovery that his son has become his enemy that leads to his conversion. I would rather see both elements maintained. My preferred ending would be that Gabriel is converted upon discovering his son's secret, and then sacrifices himself to create a better world. In the movie, it's not at all clear what happens to Gabriel at the end. The movie also felt very grounded, whereas the series has a mixture of feeling like old-fashioned values, modern convenience, and futuristic technology all at the same time. The series has a lot in common with Batman in that regard. The movie felt like this might just be what I should expect Paris to look like if I go there today. One thing that the movie did particularly poorly that my daughter and I both enjoy about the series was the love triangle of two. In the series, Ladybug/Marinette love Adrien, whereas Adrien/Cat Noir love Ladybug. Since Ladybug can't stand Cat Noir, and Adrien thinks of Marinette as too awkward to be more than friends, it leads to a lot of hijinks as onlookers see the potential pairing better than the couple. I think that's something that any of us that have ever been 14 can relate to. I also like that at the end of the movie, Marinette reveals her identity as Ladybug to Adrien, having already learned his identity in the final fight. The end of Season 5 leaves the two title characters still blissfully ignorant of each other's identities. It doesn't make sense any longer, though. Through the power of the Miraculous, we as an audience are aware of alternate timelines where Adrien and Marinette learn each other's identities. This inevitably leads to Hawkmoth's victory, because with their knowledge and feelings, they become careless and reveal themselves to Gabriel without realizing that he's their enemy. With Gabriel defeated, that danger no longer exists for our heroes, and they should be able to reveal their identities without repercussion. The last thing I liked better about the movie than the series was that the series was based on a trope of balance. The balance trope is a handy shortcut to create a proxy for basic economics. In life, we have to make decisions. Do we want to go to the movies or eat dinner out? Our demand is infinite, our supply is limited. But when you have magical creatures, there needs to be a reason why this reality remains. Balance becomes that reason. In real life, this would result in basically a static world. An increase in technology would be offset by something else that resulted in things remaining basically the same. There would be no reason to advance technology or improve the government or anything else. There also wouldn't be a reason for Ladybug and Cat Noir to oppose Hawk Moth. Whatever evil he did would just be balanced by the universe. I understand what the proxy is there for, but it still feels like an overused trope. I would rather see a more creative way to come at this writing problem. I've heard that there are plans to release a 6th season of Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. I look forward to it if there will be, and hope they fix the few problems I've pointed out. If there's ever a sequel to the movie, though, I hope they address some of the problems I've highlighted,